I know it's been a while since the last time I did an update involving Sean Urbanski, but now I have the update that many of us have been waiting for quite some time. No, it's not a verdict yet because it hasn't gotten to that point yet, but the trial for Sean Urbanski is literally about to begin. As a matter of fact, based on this article in which I'm going to read, the trial is set to begin this week. Finally, after 2 years of having to, deal with this. Well, mainstream media really didn't put it out there like that. So y'all basically be getting updates from me. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from NBC Washington. It says, jury to decide if killing of Maryland student Army lieutenant was a hate crime. 3 friends were waiting at a bus stop at the University of Maryland's campus at around 3 a.m. on Saturday when a stranger approached them screaming. Step left if you know what's best for you, the 22-year-old white man told the friends, according to police. No, one of the friends, a black man, who was Richard Collins III, as you can see in the picture, said before the white man plunged a knife into his chest. Police arrested Sean Urbanski at the bus stop 50 feet from where 23-year-old Richard Collins III was dying. After fatally stabbing Collins, Urbanski folded the knife, slipped it into his pocket, and sat down on a bench until police arrived. Now, that lets you know that this person is cold-hearted. Like, they literally didn't run away from the scene. They just folded up the knife that he murdered him with, found a bench to sit at that wasn't far from where the stabbing took place, and just waited for the police. When Urbanski's murder trial starts this week, Prince George's County prosecutors will argue Collins' killing was a hate crime carried out by a man biased against black people. Urbanski liked a Facebook group called Alt-Right Nation and saved at least 6 photographs of racist memes on his phone. Defense attorneys say there is no evidence of a racist motive for what occurred at the bus stop that night in 2017 in May. Now, they just told them that he was a part of a Facebook group called Alt-Right Nation and had 6 photographs of racist memes in his phone, but they want to argue that this wasn't a hate crime. That's one strike against them, but as we keep reading on, it's going to push more why this piece of shit should be charged with a hate crime. Witnesses told police that Urbanski was drunk and screaming incoherently when he approached the friends. The killing coincided with a surge in hate on U.S. college campuses. Reports of white supremacists posting flyers and other propaganda on campuses more than tripled in 2017, according to a tally by the Anti-Defamation League. In August 2017, torch-toting white supremacists marched through the University of Virginia's campus on the eve of a rally that led to violent clashes and bloodshed. Christian Clark, president and executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, said it's unfortunate that higher education officials, including the U.S. Department of Education, haven't done more to combat hate on campuses. Much work remains to be done. Urbanski is charged with first-degree murder and a hate crime. He faces a possible sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole if he is convicted. Jury selection is scheduled to start Monday. Defense lawyers failed to persuade Circuit Court Judge Lawrence Hill Jr. to exclude the racist memes in Facebook group as trial evidence. That's why they kept pushing this trial back so long, because they kept trying to remove that from there because they want so bad to not get him hit with those hate crime charges. One of the memes advocates violence against blacks, while another has an image of a noose and a handgun and poison. During a hearing in June, defense attorney William Brennan cited a New York Times article in which an administrator of the Facebook group said it was satire. Sure. Hunter College sociology professor Jesse Daniels, an expert in online racism, said pushing boundaries between parody and harmful hate is baked into the far-right culture. Just saying something is playing with humor doesn't give it a free pass, said Daniels, who was writing a book entitled Tweet Storm, The Rise of the Far Right. Prosecutors wanted to call Daniel as an expert witness to testify about a research and the material from Urbanski's phone. The judge, however, ruled out any testimony by Daniels at the trial. Urbanski's lawyers said prosecutors didn't give them adequate notice of her testimony and argued Daniels would mislead the jury. You mean sort of like how they're trying to do by trying to say that this was nothing more than a joke, or the stuff that he was posting online was supposed to be out of humor? They basically doing the same thing. As Daniel says, some of the memes on Urbanski's phones are somewhat hard to decipher because they contain multiple layers of inside jokes, quote unquote. Others are overtly racist. Online white supremacy has real consequences, Daniel said. Words have power and they can cause people real harm. Collins was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army shortly before his death. He was days away from graduating from Bowie State University, a historically black college. Collins was visiting friends at the University of Maryland on the night of his killing. Prosecutors say Urbanski, a former University of Maryland student, stabbed Collins because he was the only black person at the bus stop that night. His friends were a white male and an Asian female. Now I want you to really pay attention to this. Brennan said there's no evidence Collins was selected because he was black. Okay, 3 friends, 1 black, 1 white, 1 Asian. Sean Urbanski goes up to the 3 friends. They are all there. He addresses Richard Collins personally. And he tells him to move. Richard Collins says no. He stabs him. So explain to me again how this is not a racist crime or a hate crime, and how he was not selected because he was black. Because if Sean Urbanski wanted to say this wasn't a hate crime, he would have killed the white friend and the Asian friend and left no witnesses. They must think we stupid. And then tack on all the evidence that they have found on his Facebook page and in his phone, and why they're trying their hardest not to have that be evidence in this case. They want him to walk, or if they don't get him to walk, they want him to get a lesser sentence. See, they know if those hate crime charges stick, then Sean Urbanski is pretty much done. That's why they're trying to get those hate crime charges removed. Because if they are able to remain concrete, it's a slight chance that he would actually walk, versus more of a chance of him walking. And that's the risk they don't want to take. They know that their case is pretty much blown if they do it. Why do you think they keep prolonging the case with that POS out in California who killed Nia Wilson and almost killed her sister? Because they know if the hate crime charges stick with him, their case is going to be pretty much done. Those are one of the few things that many palm-colored people who kill black people are scared of. That a hate crime charge will actually stick. Because it's very rare that, I'm not going to say that they never walk, but it's very rare that they do walk with a hate crime charge. At least if they can convict them with the hate crime charge attached, of course, with the first degree. Because with a hate crime charge, first degree is always going to be on the table. It says Don and Richard Collins Jr. created a foundation in their son's name. In a video posted on the foundation's website, Don Collins said they were proud to see their son receive his Army commission. In one of their last conversations, her son said, "Mom, I made it and the world is going to know my name." You want to know what's so eerie about it? The world does know his name, or at least a segment of the world knows his name. Unfortunately, it's not for what he or his family would have hoped for. And it's all thanks to this individual on the left. But like I said, I'm going to stick around. Like now, this is going to be crunch time where the updates for this is going to constantly come in because the trial is getting ready to begin. They said the jury selection is about to happen. They probably going to try to BS with that too. You never know. But won't be surprised if they do. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.